Hi, English 102 students. This is Professor Koch and my dog Doug. He's helping me adjust to the new reality of online learning at home. I hope you're all doing really, really well. Um, I am just making a video here to go over with you some of the things to expect as we reboot in our online version. Um, some of this stuff you've seen already on D2L, but I wanted to go over it with you so that it's clear. And if you have any questions, you can then email me. Okay, so the first thing to notice is that on D2L, there'll be a video added here, this video added here, and then every week, or a couple times a week, I'll post reminders of what will be due, and these reminders will match what's in the schedule. And then if you look under content, you'll find the revised schedule. I'll post it here too. Let's take a look at it right now. First of all, before we get to the actual daily schedule, here's some of the information I've already provided online. The biggest thing I want you to know is that your health, both your physical and your emotional health, are really important to me. So I just hope you're taking good care of yourselves and your communities by practicing social distancing, washing your hands, and practicing self-care as well. I also want to make sure, though, as your professor, that we're making the best out of the situation and making sure that you're getting the education that you had planned to get this semester, even though it's going to look a little different than what we originally thought. Both Bill and I have taught online before, and we're both very committed to making this a good experience for you. And since you've already used D2L, you're in pretty good shape. You've already also done a research paper. Remember that what we're doing in the second half is like what you've already done. It's just more. So you're practiced at this, you know what you're doing, and you should be in good shape. I have three big goals: quality, flexibility, and availability. Um, First of all, quality. Again, we need to continue as much as reasonable with our course plan so that we can meet those state requirements I've talked about. But I will be reducing some of the work for you to make this more reasonable. Speaking of which, reasonable flexibility. I don't expect that you can be available every day when our class would normally meet. So you can do this class at any time of day that you'd like. You can do the work on a Monday instead of on a Tuesday, or split it up however you want throughout the week, but I do encourage you to keep your routine as much as you can. And then finally, to be available to you. Both Bill and I take this very seriously. So if you have any questions about the technical aspects of online learning, about coronavirus, or of course about this class specifically, make sure to let us know. I will be glued to my computer most days, so if you email me, I should be getting back to you relatively shortly. And if I don't, if it's during the day, forward me your email again the next day because maybe it didn't come through. I'm also going to be experimenting with Google Chat if you want to have some conversation in real time. And Bill's email address is here as well. I want to, based on the online teaching and online class that I took, I just want to give you some basic tips for doing well in an online setting. Sometimes online classes seem like less work because because you get to set your own schedule and you don't have to show up in a specific classroom on somebody else's time frame. But they can be quite a bit of work because remember, on your own, you are doing what we would do in class as well as your homework activity. So just as I mentioned earlier, set a routine and be in the habit of putting lots of time into the class. If you're struggling to keep up because of time constraints, make sure you communicate with me. Check into D2L frequently. Announcements will be posted, as I mentioned, on a regular basis, and follow the new schedule, which is in this document, the revised course plan and revised schedule document. Use D2L to submit all of your work. You're used to that. The only assignment I'd like for you to email me is possibly the tentative research questions due on Tuesday night. My dog keeps putting his chin on my laptop, so I don't know what's happening here. I hope it's not too wobbly for you. So, sorry. And always check back for any feedback that I've given you on any work that you've submitted, because I'll always be giving you feedback with the next step in mind. So come back and take a look at that feedback. And then don't forget about the Writing Center. They're going to stay open and they're functioning online. So here's the website you can use if you want an outside set of eyes on any particular assignment in the next few weeks. Okay, so I want to summarize the changes that we're making in the schedule. And again, I've touched on this already, but I am changing some deadlines and canceling a couple of assignments in order to make up for the work or the week that we missed. But I want to keep some of the building blocks, some of the steps in the schedule so that you are building carefully toward this final paper with my feedback along the way. Generally speaking, on Thursday, you get a free extension until Friday. So work due on Tuesdays will still be due on Tuesdays, but work due on Thursdays, you can have an extra day for. Always ask if you need more time. Always ask for extensions before the deadline if that's what happens. These are strange times. I understand your schedules are going to be more difficult and you might be sharing your laptop with siblings. So we'll figure it out. But generally try to keep up with the deadline so that we can get to our final goal at a reasonable pace. Work will be due at 11:59 p.m. instead of at 11 a.m. Late work, instead of taking zeros on late homework, I'll accept them for half credit for up to a week. The late policy on formal work is the same. And we are building toward that portfolio due during finals week, and we really have to stick to that, which is why these other deadlines are kind of important along the way. Okay, class time. Instead of meeting face-to-face in class, we're going to be doing a couple of things. First of all, D2L discussions. There'll be a couple assignments where I ask you to go over to discussions and share your observations and read what each other has to say and interact. Sometimes these will be worth points. Sometimes they'll be worth bonus points. But they'll always be an important way to substitute for what we would be doing face-to-face. Bill and I will also post videos like this once in a while. There are two library videos that Bill has made especially for us, especially for our class, that I want you to watch on Tuesday instead of going to the library classroom like I had planned. And there'll be other activities occasionally for you to watch for. Changes in written assignments. I'm changing the long research paper requirement. Just one scholarly journal article is required now. I'd still like you to read more and use more if you can, but the minimum is one scholarly journal article. You should still plan to use at least 5 sources in your final long research paper. Of course, to find those 5 great sources, you're going to need to read 12, 15, 20, quite a number of good sources. So plan on spending a lot of time with that. I'm reducing the number of SAWs, the source analysis worksheets. The last one is optional. You can do it for bonus points if you want, or you can skip it. And only one scholarly article or one source analysis worksheet has to be on a scholarly article. Previously, it was 2. I'm canceling the tentative works cited list assignments, and I'm moving the prospectus assignment online. So instead of doing presentations, you'll share via discussions so that you can get feedback and give feedback to your classmates. It'll be like a big workshop. We'll also figure workshops out as well. Other changes will be announced, and there's more details in our course schedule on the next page. I just want to, again, say that we're doing this together. We're an online community now, and that means that we're going to rely on each other to succeed, to get through this successfully, perhaps even more than usual. So I'll be here rooting for you, answering questions along the way, and I hope that you will be rooting for your classmates as well. So here is the revised schedule. You can see it's built the same way. There's the first column for reading homework, the second column for written homework. Now it's all due, as I said, at 11:59 p.m. And then here is a brief summary of class work. This will be updated and more details will be posted regularly on D2L. But here's what you need to do for this week. Take another look at the long research paper handout. It's been a couple weeks since you saw that, perhaps. So just keep an eye on what the goals are. And then keep doing your preliminary research to figure out what exactly you want your research question to be. Your 2 or 3 tentative research questions are due on Tuesday. This is the one assignment you can email to me if you wish, or you can upload them to D2L and watch for my feedback, please. And then for our classwork, this will be our library class. As I mentioned earlier, Bill has made a couple of short videos just for you and put together a couple of activity sheets. So if you go to the long research paper content, okay, so I'm in our D2L shell, go to content, go to, if you look under long research paper, you'll see this module for the library class. There's a video here. So if you click on that, you'll see a video. If you go to the next one, there'll be another video, and then there'll be some activity sheets for you to work on as well. You do not have to turn these in, but doing these will help you get started. Okay. Back to our schedule. For Thursday, I'm actually going to extend these until Friday at 11:59 p.m. Your research proposal and your your source analysis worksheet are due. If you want to speak with me, I know we had originally scheduled conferences. We can use the Google Meet app. We can email. We can work something out. But at the very least, be sure to check for my feedback on your proposal so that you know that you're proceeding forward with an approved topic. Remember that I'll try to give you feedback on each step that you can use for the next step. Okay, let's take a look back. Well, no, as long as we're in the schedule, sorry. You can see that we're going to be working for the next couple of weeks on doing as much research as you can. And by Tuesday, April 7th, 2 weeks approximately, you should have done enough research where you can write your summary paragraphs. Same assignment as last time, where you're going to summarize 2 different ways of looking at your topic, 2 different sides of the debate. By 2.5 weeks from the start of our reboot, you'll have your thesis, your position, and you'll have a plan for your paper. So remember, you'll be getting guidance along the way. Your long research paper isn't actually due for a little more than a month, so we'll work on steps to get there so that you feel really good about the paper that you write. And then after that, we'll work on revising both the short research paper and the long research paper for your portfolio. Okay, so that's a quick run through of the schedule. I'm going back to the long research paper and under content, the assignments packet that I gave you the week before spring break, I guess it was. It feels like a long time ago. The assignment for the proposal is here on, page, oh my goodness, 6. This is what's due on Thursday the 26th. And remember, there are samples available on D2L. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. I know Bill and I sound like a broken record on this, but we really do mean this. We want you to do well, and we want you to have the least amount of anxiety and nervousness along the way in this new reality. If you want to just check in with each other, feel free to use the discussions where I've posted a couple of threads. And you can just post some lighthearted stuff and relax a little bit, help each other out. Your pictures of your dogs are welcome. Thanks, Brittany. I'll see you online next week. Take care of yourselves. Be well.